Record. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. We are here to talk about raising your frequencies. It's time to take ownership of our own health. We can do so much for our health and wellness, and I'm excited to share some of the basics along with the tool that I use. So, we're going to start with what our learning points are going to be. We're going to discuss a little bit about what frequencies are, the fact that the body has a blueprint, our lifestyle and frequency, how to evaluate our frequency, and then tools that we can utilize to raise our frequency. So, hi, my name is Emily. I am a wife. I've been married for over 10 years now. I have three boys, ages almost 9, 4 and 7 months. I am self taught and I love to learn. And I love connecting the pieces of wellness. So, things like personality to how your body is functioning to what your relationships are like and like how all of that interconnects is my favorite thing to do. And I am on my own journey of healing. So, I'm going to be sharing things. You can see things on my social media, all of that. I am not perfect though. So I don't eat perfectly. I sometimes forget to run my frequencies, all of that. But we're all on our own journey. And one of the things I've really been discussing more lately is how like health doesn't just end after a detox. We get to continually be working on our health and wellness, and that's not going to just stop after we've like hit a certain point. Like our life is always going to be changing and evolving. Things are going to be coming out, and we can always adapt and shift and things like that. So along with that, always giving ourselves grace because nobody can be perfect, and we need to not stress about the things that we can't maybe do perfectly. Um, all right, so the next slide. So everything is energy. I am really excited to homeschool my son because I have been learning some kind of like basics again, and I think that that is super fun. So everything is energy, and if you look at the smallest thing, which is an atom, and I have one right there, um, you can see that it's very small, but then it also has a lot of energy around it. So an atom is made up of protons. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher some of this. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. But it's all about energy. It's negative and positive energy and how it all correlates. Um, so your if you're sitting in a chair, if you're at a desk, if you're on your cell phone, all of that has a specific frequency. That energy is like pulled together essentially. And our bodies are the same. So our cells have a different specific energy vibration. Our eyes, different parts of our eyes, our bone structure, our different organ systems, everything has a specific energy. Um, some other aspects of energy you can think of are the voice. So you can tell by how someone is talking what their energy level kind of is. So if you get on the phone with a friend and they're like, "Hey, how are you today?" Like you can tell that something's wrong and they might be sad, or that something might be wrong. And you can tell when someone's excited and all of that. So you can really tell a lot of what someone is feeling and their emotions based off of their energy that they're emitting. Um, you can even think about this in terms of like when you walk into a room and you can tell if it's like a really exciting room or if there's like a lot of tension and you have that phrase, you can cut the tension with a butter knife kind of thing or a knife or something like that. So there's so many aspects of energy and I love learning about all of the pieces. So we will go a little bit deeper here with the body blueprint. So the biophysicists in Germany and Russia, I'm going to read this, pioneered the work of identifying specific frequencies in the human body, and they compiled a database of more than 120,000 different frequencies. And these frequencies are the same in every person. Every cell and organ in the body has its own distinctive vibrational frequency or oscillation. And when these oscillations are disrupted, whether that's by injury, by diet, by stress, by emotion, it results in a disruption of that biological function. And whenever you don't address it, that can bring about fatigue, depression, illness, dis-ease, and even death. Death is essentially when I just watched something last night. It was very fascinating. When things are just so far out of homeostasis, essentially, or out of balance. Knowing what the optimum oscillating frequencies of these cells are can assist in determining the root cause of your health status, and when they're compared to what it should be. So, like the actual blueprint. So, some different aspects of lifestyle and frequency. I kind of explained a little bit about our emotions. So, for raising our frequency, that being the topic, emotions can raise or lower our frequency. There are some different scales with emotions and where they're at on a frequency scale. Those are super fascinating. Um, and things like anger and shame and guilt are low in those emotional frequencies, and things like love and I believe authenticity is the highest frequency. Those range. So being able to really manage your emotions, allowing your emotions and processing them, but also trying to like lift up those emotions and being in love and being authentic, about who you are and what you believe. um, Part of that for me right now with authenticity has been being okay with the fact that some of the stuff I say seems to contradict, because I'm still learning and I'm still playing around with my own theories in my head. And so I've been kind of sharing some more different things in that way. But it's authentic to me because it's all part of the journey of learning. So working on those emotions with when we are agitated, kind of removing ourselves from those situations, or kind of self-reflecting. Like I actually had just texted Ange because I was like, I'm going to be on whenever people get on, but like my husband's irritating me right now. And that's the thing. His actions were causing, how do I want to say this? Like he doesn't necessarily have the power to irritate me. It's what I am receiving from him. It's how I react or respond. So being able to, like, if he was irritating or the way he handles the kids is irritating or something, I can just be like, okay, that's his preference, and I can either take a child away and go do something else, or I can let him handle it in his way. So kind of removing some of that aspect, and that's some of that emotional piece. Our environment is huge with frequency, so I'm gonna try not to go down like too many rabbit holes. That's why I created a slideshow. But our environment, our physical environment, can really raise or lower our frequency. So that could be the and I'm kind of taking this in a toxin aspect, but also like actual frequencies. So, if you have a cell phone, you have 4G, 5G. I feel like I saw somewhere that they rolled out 6G, but I could also be very wrong because my brain and dreams have been very interesting lately with what's real and what's not real. Um, So with that 5G, that can really disrupt the actual frequency of our body. Music is a fascinating thing that I'm kind of struggling with and want to find a good space. I love music, but I can't remember. It's been like 40 or 50 years, maybe longer, ago. They changed the tuning from 432 hertz, which is good for the body, to 440 hertz, which can be unbalancing to the body. And so to me, that's like, okay, we've all been listening to this music on the radio for X amount of years. And like that's always constantly causing a little bit of dis-ease within our cells, which there's just so many reasons for being not well. But the 5G aspect, so finding different things to support you and to negate some of those frequencies. Um, and even like cleaning products. So like in our house, is our air quality good? Is our cleaning products clean, or are they causing more harm at their frequency level? And then the physical aspect. So there's lots of different aspects with the physical. Um, there is our physical being. So like I said, you can raise your your frequency with physical activity and movement, by how you're talking to someone, by taking a moment to like calm and meditate, to ground in nature. Um, and then another aspect of that, my brain just completely left me. Give me 1 second to regroup. Physical. It's talking about movement. Oh, food. Food, and I didn't really put this too much in the slideshows, but food has a vibration. So, like a raw carrot fresh from the garden is going to have a higher frequency than a cooked carrot, um, and things like that. So it's very fascinating. That's a whole rabbit hole. Like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into these rabbit holes, but just kind of give you a few different things to think about, and then you can kind of deep dive on your own, and explore those topics. But yeah, so those are some of the aspects of lifestyle. There are so many more that we could discuss, but I'll go ahead and move on. So I am going to get to the software that I use, but I really wanted to make this workshop available for people to get information without needing software or a device. So these are a few different ways that you can evaluate your frequency, or your energy. Sorry, there are alarms going off, and I don't know where they're going because I feel like they're getting louder and louder. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so how to evaluate your frequency. My frequency is feeling a little off right now. Not gonna lie, I do not love alarms and fire alarms, especially when they sound really close to me. I think they're going away now. Um, anyway, so pausing is a really great way to just kind of check in with your body. Um, that gut feeling. What do you feel? I've been working at doing better with this. Not always following it, but like if I have plans for something and I'm just feeling a little off about them, sometimes canceling or rescheduling. Um, if it's around even food, pausing and thinking like, do I feel that this food is going to be best for me right now? Do I feel like this person's energy is good for me right now? um how am I feeling in my body, like if you're sick, or not feeling great, um thinking about what ways that you can support the body or tap into, like, how am I feeling, where do I feel this in my body? If you're feeling really sad, thinking about where you're feeling that sadness, and taking time to kind of process and um go through that. Another way to evaluate frequency is muscle testing. I want to find some good videos on YouTube to share, um, because muscle testing is so fascinating to me. I use what's called the sway method, which is when you essentially just stand upright and you kind of take a second to get in tune with your body. Excuse me, and then you say, I typically start with a few practice questions. So I'll stand there and I'll say, show me yes. And it typically will sway me forward, and then I'll say, show me no. And it'll typically push me backwards. On occasion, polarity gets reversed. And so there are different ways to fix that. Um, but then to test some things, you can say, my name is Emily. And then if I go forward, obviously that's correct. If I go backwards, that's not correct. Um, and then I kind of play with other names, like my name is XY, my name is Bridget, my name is, I don't know, whatever. And then I just kind of do a couple practice just to make sure my body is in proper polarity. But then you can hold a supplement and you can say, is this supplement going to serve my highest good right now? And then you can, if you go forward, that's yes. If you go backward, no. There's ways to figure out like how much of something. With the software that we use, a lot of people will muscle test for what frequencies to put in a playlist or how long to play playlists. But muscle testing can be done with so many things, and I absolutely love that as a tool and resource. I included heart math on here. I don't know as much about it, but it's again, I wanted to share resources so that it wasn't all about the scanner. But heart math is about reading your heart rate and then doing something and then being able to read your heart rate again. So I know that some different people will utilize this with like even food sensitivities or allergy testing, um, where they will take their pulse and then you eat a food, and then so long after you eat the food, you take the pulse again. And if there's indicators, if it raises or lowers and things like that. Um, but Heart Math Institute is a really good resource for learning some of that information. And then, of course, I'll talk about AO scan technology because I love adding this in. And then, after we talk a little bit about this, we'll talk about some different ways to support your body's frequencies without the AO scan technology and with. And then I have some really cool announcements to make at the end of this as well. So, what is AO scan technology? It's a unique educational tool that teaches us how the body is performing. It communicates via biofrequencies and electromagnetic signals, and it identifies areas that are out of balance so that lifestyle changes can be made. It uses bioresonance recognition, so it looks at what frequencies are in your body, and then it uses bioresonance comparison. It compares those frequencies to the blueprint, and then it uses sympathetic vibratory physics to optimize the frequencies in your body to shift them more towards homeostasis. Um, I have a whole other presentation that I give, and I did keep this one in here just because a lot of people ask how it works at a distance because most of my work is virtual. The short answer is that frequencies are broadcast from point A to point B, and you are that point B. We set up a profile in the software. Um, so that is kind of like your frequency energy blueprint. And then your profile in the system, that's exactly what I said. So if you think about how cell phones work, how Wi-Fi works, how do other things work, and it uses similar-ish technology, but also do we question them or do we just use them? I was watching YouTube last night and I was like, it is really wild that somewhere in a studio somewhere this was recorded and like it wasn't even recent. It was like 2 years ago, and I can pull this up on my TV screen through Wi-Fi and watch this somehow. It's so fascinating to me. But some key terms to research, if you really want to dig deep into that stuff, are scalar waves, quantum physics, and quantum entanglement. It's very important to remember that scanning with the AO is frequency and not chemistry or electricity. The goal is to re educate the frequencies that have begun to vibrate incorrectly back to the known found correct frequencies. It is a pinpoint snapshot in time and provides valuable information about the relationship between organs, glands, systems, and the daily energy shifts of the body and how they affect each other. And it can also assist with lifestyle changes. It gives a whole bunch of different lifestyle suggestions for shifting your frequencies. And it is also educational, not chemistry or diagnostic. So we always look at the patterns and utilize it from that standpoint. The main features include a supplement scan, which is super cool because you put your own supplements in it and then you can run a scan and see what is best for your body at that moment. In the past, I have used a Zytoscan and an Itovi, and it has those types of features in here. But with your own stuff, you don't have to purchase different packages. It has an emotional scan to see what's going on with your emotions, a vital scan that is similar to the blood chemistry, comprehensive, which is the physiology, and I call that the X-ray scan because you can see an image of what that looks like. There's a body system scan, a frequency generator, which is the subtle energy frequency imprinter or SEFI, and that is full of hundreds, if not thousands, of different frequencies that are related to rife, Bach flower, and Australian bush flowers, homeopathy, tuning forks, and so much more features in the system. So, what are some ways to raise your frequency? Um, I am slowly starting to learn a bit more about nervous system regulation, and some of that involves visualization. Some of that involves like talking to yourself and mindset work. Um, but shaking it out is a really great thing, and moving your body that gets the energy flowing. Especially when you're stuck, like if you are trying to work on a project and you just kind of feel stuck, a great way to get moving and get your brain flowing essentially is to just shake and move or dance and just get all of that energy moving and shifting, and you'll feel so much better after it, I promise. Screaming, there is definitely a big thing with there's a big shift in how do I want to word this? Like for calming down and managing stress, everyone has always said like meditate and like calm and ground and all of the things. And sometimes you just need to, like with the shaking and moving, you need to get the energy and frequencies out of your system. And screaming or being loud is a great way to do that. That's kind of where I go back to some of that music. Like I have some playlists that I like to listen to when I'm like in a rough mood that I just need to like get energy out. That's very loud. Um, so those are a couple different ways. Eating high frequency foods, like I said, the like a raw carrot is going to be higher frequency than a cooked carrot. Um, I'm not super into just raw foods, but just being aware that as you're cooking your foods, you're kind of lowering that vibration, and it's life force essentially. Um, Mindset shift. So talking to yourself, rewiring your brain. There's another um, feature on the AO scan called MindSync, which helps to kind of rewire your brain and shift your subconscious mind. There's lots of different things that you can do for that. There's hypnosis, there are speaking affirmations, there's, of course, the frequencies, and the binaural beats. Aromatherapy is a great way to raise your frequencies, playing with different scents, getting in nature, being in nature, going for a walk, any of that kind of stuff. Sound therapy, like sound bowls or crystals, are really helpful for raising frequency. Excuse me. Like with the inner voice, that is binaural beats and different frequencies in the sound and the music, and which really helps to balance out some of your nervous system as well. These are some old testimonies that I figured I'd throw in here. From a digestion group, someone said that pooping felt like a vacation to her, which I absolutely loved. For hormone support, many people felt better overall. Their mood was more stable. They had an easier cycle and less cramping. I've had a few people that I have, their period has been late, and so they've requested some frequencies, and they've gotten their period within 24 hours. There is energy, having more sustained energy. I have one client who I absolutely love. She messages me, or she knows exactly when I'm broadcasting because she wakes up, and she is now a morning person, and she never used to be a morning person. And she actually shared in one of my announcements. If you want to scroll down to one of the pages, um, I have her testimonial she gave a couple weeks ago. Mastering stress. A lot of people are more able to manage some of the stress that's coming in with some of the frequencies that we use. Pain relief has definitely been a big one, and there's been a variety of pains that have been supported with the frequencies. Options for utilizing the frequency software. If you have done all of the other things and you're still wanting extra support, or you're fascinated by this whole technology, you can get your own subscription, which you get access to all the features that we discussed. You can add unlimited clients and pets. You can broadcast to yourself, you can imprint things, you can broadcast to your clients. And then I have been working on a lot more team support and mentoring, that is more regular. So I'm super excited to share some of that. And then reports or wellness mentoring is something that I offer one offs. So I can do just reports for you at a pretty discounted rate. I do broadcasting groups, I do emotional balance sessions and one on one wellness mentoring. I can also imprint objects. I typically do those in person. At this point, I will go ahead and does anybody have any questions or feedback at this point? This one wasn't as super interactive as I normally make it, but does anyone have any questions?
I have a bunch.
Yes, go
Uh,
ahead.
okay. One would be, oh geez, where do I start? I've lists here from it's every time I go and do it, I have more questions. And then when I'm done, it's like, okay, I got stuff to do. I can't do anymore. Um, I never get back to you. Um, so okay, how do you broadcast like all day?
Okay.
My phone seems to shut off
Yes.
sometimes, and
Mhm.
other times it could be 2 hours later, and I'll be like, oh no, yeah, I forgot I put that on.
Yeah. The phone is fun because sometimes it does broadcast for a long time and sometimes it does shut off. When I do my broadcast, I do all of those on my computer, and then I have my computer set so that it doesn't like time out, like
Okay.
go to a blank screen. And so the thing though, if you're using both your laptop and your computer, you can only use one at a time. So if you're using your laptop, you would log into your laptop, and then if you would log into your phone, it would like kind of disconnect your account on the laptop. Um, but
Okay.
that is how
I,
I do the
if
broadcast.
my iPad is connected to my phone, it will still shut off.
Yeah, yeah, it's either the iPad, the phone, or the laptop. It's because it's browser based. Um, so like if it's in a different browser on a different device, it's going to shut off.
Okay. When I'm going through my scans, how do you, I know the other scans, they have the balance and they have the pulse.
Yeah.
And then I noticed the chakras, I can go into chakra and go through those.
Mhm.
It's funny how sometimes the chakra that shows up on my scan is not the one I get when I
Oh,
go into the scan.
yeah.
So, but anyway, okay. So, how do I get frequencies to balance my meridians?
Um, let me let me write that down. There are playlists that Alice, I believe, Jaharian, I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name, in the AO Scan group has created. Um, I will email those to you. Um,
Okay.
they're in the Solex group too, but I can email those to you directly. But there's specific playlists that are supposed to help with each meridian.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because I've been on this, I don't know, it's like a detox for your cells
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And my gallbladder and kidneys and bladder. And it's just like, what is going on?
Uh-huh.
Aren't balanced. And I figure it's probably from the supplements trying to do their job. So in
Right.
that aspect, it's like, oh, okay, that's working. But then the other, I'm kind of scared. It's like, well, is there really something going on?
Right, right. Um,
So if I could balance those out, that would be, that would give me a peace of mind anyway.
oh, for sure. Is the detox that you're doing, is it long term or is it short term?
3 months.
Okay. Are you doing that with someone or are you doing that just on your own?
It's through a chiropractor.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, whenever we're detoxing, there's definitely a lot that shifts and moves in the body. For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Of course, I didn't think about that until I started saying it, and then it's like, well, of course.
Okay.
Okay. So thanks for that.
No problem.
um, with the I don't understand how to do like the flowers and
Okay.
the was it homogenics or homeopath?
Yeah,
Uh,
homeopathy and
yeah,
neoenergetics. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure. Because usually when it says it, then it wants me to imprint, and it's like, well, how do I just like get the balance without imprinting? Because it's not like it plays.
Right. So give me 1 second. Let me stop this screen share and I will pull up if I have one open here. I might have to open one. Where is my Safari? There. Okay. Here is my, you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So this, I'll just show you what I personally do. Um, when it comes to, we'll start with flowers. So if you click the flower, of course, and do your little scan, it does only have the imprint option. So
Okay.
what I have done, and I know it's kind of annoying, is so that mine came up with Spiritual Confusion Silver Princess. Um, I imprinting is great, by the way. So like if you want to just like imprint your, like if you wear rings or any kind of jewelry, you can imprint the flower into that, and then you have that like sustained support throughout the day, throughout however long until that frequency kind of wears off. But if you want to broadcast, I have my custom broadcasts or playlists set up, and I have like these are all single flowers. So I don't remember what that one was called now. Silver Princess. So I have this, and I just have them listed as BF because they used to just be Bach flowers. Now they're Australian bush flowers and all the things. So I just have everything listed as BF. Um, and then I click on that, and then it is just by itself. And then I'll do like a broadcast, or you can do, or you can add them to a playlist. If you're wanting to create a playlist, you can add the Bach flowers to a playlist. So the You've made playlists, correct?
I have. I
Okay.
have. I've made them, and you could put like 15 on a list.
Yeah.
So I actually have 4 lists,
Okay.
and I go through them as much as I can every day.
Okay.
I try to scan it every day because it's all my issues.
Okay.
Um, there's one, and I can't think of what it is, that just allows me to like go into one body part. Which one is that?
Um, Cephi dots, or are you
Oh
is
no,
Jan or
I
Ceph?
haven't done anything with dots.
Okay. So the Cephi dots that has these are the options for the Cephi dots. They're only imprintable. You can't broadcast to these ones. So I'll imprint some of these into like my ring. Allergy defense has been a big one that I have used recently because my allergies have been horrible. But cellular restore is a great one. That would be a good one to imprint some rings or something into. Or if you have the Cephi dots, you could imprint the Cephi dots with the cellular restore and then put on your body. So like I'm just clicking the cellular restore. Um, it'll show you some placements, each one. This one right here, the hand, is where I typically place it, just because it's easy for me. And also it's also kind of an advertising thing for me, so that like people are like, what's on your hand? And I'm like, it's a frequency patch, are you interested? But there's lots, each one has different ones. Like the allergy one, I'm probably never going to put them on my face, but like the allergy one has like all these different spots for the face, and I'm like, I'm probably going out in public and I don't really want to get on my face. But they have like behind the neck and everything too. But each of these are different. But the cellular restore would probably be great too while you're doing that detox. Um, but then they have like for perfect body, youth eternal, different things like that. Those are imprint only. I'm trying to think.
And that's something you just do
Oh,
one at.
you can imprint multiple into a dot at the same time. I can sometimes I'll do whole playlists into a dot. Um, it just kind of depends on what my goals are with each thing. I try to keep them all similar versus like 5 different body areas at once, just to kind of be more targeted. Um, would it be the AO tune with the different or like the different?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Maybe that's it.
All right. So this one again, you can't really like this is doesn't you can't add these to a playlist. Um, you can emit them. Like I did buy the transducers, but you don't need them. You can listen to them with your headphones. technically when you hit emit, that is going to broadcast it to your body as well. I have seen people say that like they weren't near people and they broadcast them, brought just emitted the tone. I really think the software is just that smart that it just gets to whoever's profile is there, whether they're listening to it or not.
So
Um,
if I'm that, yeah, that wasn't, can you hear me?
yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, that was, now that you say that, it's another question. So I do have the bone, whatever that is, headset thing.
Mhm.
Um, do I have to wear that? I assume I have to wear it when I'm scanning, but
Um,
when I'm scanning, do I have to keep wearing it?
You don't have to wear I don't wear mine very often. I will use it with clients more than I use it for myself. But it does the way that they explain it, it's kind of like an HD effect. Like the scanner is
Uh,
going to read your body properly, but it has that HD effect just because it's touching your bone. It's working off of the bone.
oh,
Um,
okay.
so the one that it's like not required, but recommended for is the vitals, comprehensive, and likely the body systems as well. You don't need that for the inner voice because the inner voice works just off of the voice. Um, but yeah, that can be you can use it, not use it, whatever you feel best with.
Okay.
Um, and did you have any other questions with the AO tune?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I,
And then,
I haven't used those. I've only gone like DNA and organs. I
okay,
haven't spread my wings on that.
yeah,
Um,
there's a lot there.
and the homogenics,
Yes,
homeopathic, I mean,
I'll click on the homeopathics. So I don't know a ton about specific homeopathy, but there's all the different options here. So there's the homeopathics, the cell salts, the no sods, and then I use by symptoms the most. So what I
mm,
do is um there's a couple different things I'll do. If it's just that I'm like working on a specific issue for myself. So like right now, I've been well, I haven't lately, and I need to get back to it. But the my hernia and my abdominal diastasis recti, I will pick that. I'll run my scan. It's only three, so I let all three of them run. But I let it pick its order, and then I do the
oh, so you can put more on that than just one.
well, not for the by symptoms, but you could also so then the other thing that I have done is like I created a playlist for my hernia and diastasis recti as a playlist. So I wrote down like what these ones were and then I went down and found like the hernia um it only has two. I can't count my ABC right now. Okay. Um, so it has those, so that would be five total homeopathy for those two issues. So then I can go over to the playlists and then create a playlist with those specific frequencies.
Oh,
And then because there is also a frequency for hernia and muscles and stuff like that, I will also add those things in for my hernia. But that is a way to get them into a playlist versus just having to like go through each thing that you're interested in supporting.
yeah.
Um,
Okay. So I click on that
mhm.
and then I go to playlist or
Yeah, I mean, write these down so you don't forget because I don't remember anything anymore.
right.
When it comes to, well, and those are really big words. So yeah, then you go back over here and then create a playlist.
Oh,
And then
wait, where'd you go to? Go
so
back one.
I'm in,
Uh,
I'll go back here. So
oh, okay. There you are. Okay.
yeah, this is Seppi. I hit click cut
Okay.
and then add and then type in, I'll just type in hernia. I'm not going to save this one, but then go down to the homeopathics. Now, sometimes in the by symptoms, they are all three sometimes. So there's homeopathics, the cell salts, and the no sods. So if I can't find it in homeopathics, it's often then in the cell salts, and there's only a handful of those. But then you just add the ones that you want into that um, and and put them in. And then the same with like the homeo energetics, you can add those to a playlist as well. I know that with the homeo energetics, they recommend not doing like more than 2 or 3 detoxes at a time.
Oh, okay.
Also, just kind of And I mean, if you are doing more than 3, that's fine. Just being aware that, it is shifting the energy in the body, so kind of being gentle with the detox aspect and a little heavier on the support aspect. Um,
Okay.
back, back again. And then there's, yeah, and I mean, you can, if you're in the homeoenergetics too, like you can click each of these. The info button tells you a little bit about what it does. So like this one is a frequency mix that supports the body's normal histamine levels. That's very fascinating when it comes to ADHD.
Huh.
Fascinating. But like there's the adrenal support, thyroid support. You can click on that, and then those are the things that that one supports. Um, so um, so that's that. If that answered your question in full.
Yes. Yes. Good. I'm having a hard time getting on to the YouTube AO scan site to listen to, like, I can get onto to YouTube,
Okay.
or if I can get on, if it's through AO scan, like if they sent me an email or something,
Yeah.
but I can't seem to just go on to YouTube and get, I don't know, when do they broadcast? Tuesday or Wednesdays?
That Wednesday night. Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't, I can't seem to get on, you know, like that day I can, but not, and I never do because it's the only day I work. But they usually tape everything. So I was looking for a replay, and I can never seem to find the
Yeah,
weekly.
they are on the Solex LLC is the YouTube channel. I can send you the link to that.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm having issues with that,
No,
but
it's
I'm not techie savvy at all.
yeah,
So just,
okay.
just being on this machine at all is overwhelming.
I get that completely.
I think I'm keeping everything, and then all of a sudden when I slide it, everything disappears.
Uh-huh.
Because it slides too much, too fast, too quick,
I get that.
and all of a sudden it's like, but I didn't save it. And it's like, okay, and I can't do it again because it only allows you to do it. Oh, that's another thing. So when I do my scans, it's morning, noon, and night. Not that I do it morning, noon, and night. Try to do it twice a day though. Um, it, when I do it like quarter after 11, even 11:05 one time, it comes out as like afternoon.
Okay.
Like, wait a minute, no, I want this to be my morning one, you know?
You can choose that. So are you using the easy scan?
Yes, I do that every day. Let
Okay.
me know what but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. So if you click show all, you can change that to morning.
Oh, okay.
So you can change and add. And so like, and if you have you added your supplements and therapies types of things?
Yes. I have a question about that too, but go ahead.
So like I have mine kind of organized in different categories. So like I have my tinctures, I have food as medicine. So that is like molasses because it's good for iron, like different things that are more food based and not as much an actual supplement. I have some essential oils, I have different therapies. Like I have gosh, well, I can't really show you. Let me go back over here. Let me group my calendar. I'm gonna hide. Whoops. I clicked the wrong thing. I will be patient and wait. Thank you. Um, So I have like all of my supplements in there, and then there's the homeoenergetics and homeopathic. And then this is how I have like my therapy. So I don't really get acupuncture, but if it comes up a lot, like I might consider going to get acupuncture. um, and then I have red light therapy from before, but then and like the salt cave and stuff, but then like the 660 band, which I'm pretty sure you have. Like I have it in for like different time frames. So I'll have like 5, 10, or 15 minutes. So then if that comes up on my scan and on my easy scan, then I can be like, oh, okay, I'll wear my band for X amount of time this morning, whatever.
Or knew
Um,
that. Sure. Okay.
yeah. Because then yeah, so you just like put it in multiple times and change up the time essentially. And then I have the same for, I did get an infinity wand, so I've been using that when it comes up. I don't actually have a mat, but I added that because if it starts coming up often, like then I might move that up on my list of things to get when I'm ready
Okay,
to.
you had to put these in manually first.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Um, would HRTs be considered
Yeah.
therapy or homeopathic? I tried to imprint it under my supplements and it would not take.
Okay. Um, we might have to do a session and I'll have you share your screen. Um, and then see if we can uh
Yeah, I thought maybe it was the plastic container. So then I took some out and put it in a glass little jar and still wouldn't scan. And then I just put a dot on on my phone and it still won't scan.
so I actually don't scan them whenever I'm putting them in. I just hit save. I when I first started doing all of this, I did like all of the scan and I had one pill on every, yeah, that was a lot of work. From watching other people, they don't do the scan, they just add the contact, like the information, and then hit save. And so that's what I do now. I don't actually put all, I
Mm,
don't do like the scan into the system thing anymore. I haven't seen any issue with that. I still like feel like my the recommendations that I get every day seem to be pretty accurate, and it's stuff that I've added like that. So I don't know if that
okay.
might help to get that
Yeah.
added. Um
Okay.
yeah, and like this is some of like my food as medicine. There's the blackstrap molasses, 4 ounces of water. I have
And
varying,
you put all these in yourself.
yes.
Okay.
That's the thing. It does take some time to get all of this put in, but and I need to, I have essential oils as the category. I have a couple added, but I really want to sit down and actually add all of my essential oils in one day. I just haven't prioritized that right now. But and like there's like a random tea that I was like, this is a really good tea and I really like it, so I'm gonna throw it in there. I've done books before. I actually added a bunch of different books that I wanted to read and was like, did a quick scan to like see what book I should read right now. So that was kind of like the next book that I started. So there's a lot of different things to kind of play uh, with that. And this one is like no longer needed.
Yeah, I haven't gone beyond morning, midday, and evening.
Yeah,
So,
that's okay. There's so much to play with, and like that's where I think I've mentioned like I'm working on getting that like course and platform together so that you guys have all the resources and more tutorials and stuff. But anyway, whenever you're running your easy scan, you can choose what you want, and
okay.
then start the scan, and then it'll choose those 5 things. And
Okay.
even run like the quick scan, a morning, midday, or evening will show just the essential oil, like the just the supplements or whatever. It doesn't have to be, um, but you can choose that too. So
Oh, okay. That doesn't show all the, I don't know,
it doesn't do a,
foods. Mm,
yeah, it doesn't do a full scan. It'll just show, here I can show you what an evening one looks like. And I'll pick tinctures, therapies, foods and medicine. And then next. Hi, my name is Emily Mailer. It is Thursday, June 6th at 8:27 p.m. I'm running a quick scan to see what supplements might benefit me this evening. And so like then it just shows those top supplements. So those
oh,
are that would be recommended for me right now. There's the infinity mat that I just talked about. I don't have it, so I can't use it. Um, but I
so
can,
oh, okay. So it strictly just gives you that.
yes, yeah. And then
Oh,
there is like a 3-minute audio, but it's not the full body scan. So if you're
mm,
wanting to just like real quick take some supplements or something, like even if you don't have time to do a midday full easy scan, then you
right.
can do just a quick supplement scan and see what supplements
Okay.
today.
So like every day you try to do an easy scan.
Yes. I try to do at least one. I would like to do 2 easy scans a day, but I try to do at least one in the morning and then my next goal, because I have been getting pretty consistent with my morning one, is to add the evening one, and then I really want to start doing AO sync or the mind sync in the evening as well, but I haven't
Mm,
quite got there yet.
okay. Yeah, me neither. Okay. Well, that answers a lot of questions and gives me more to try to understand.
Good. Any other questions at this point?
Oh, y- yeah, but they're not coming to mind. So when I'm doing it, they'll pop back in and say, "Oh yeah, that was the question." But
That's
no, that helps a lot.
okay.
That helps a lot.
And you can
So
message me anytime. I know that many people are like, I don't want to bother you, but like I'll get to you whenever I have time, so don't ever feel like you're inconveniencing me.
okay. All right. Sounds good.
Um and
Sounds
then I
good.
have four announcements that I wanted to run through real quick. Um
Okay.
one is that I launched a new website. Now that I'm home, I created a completely separate from Square website, and that's kind of a little screen showing of it. So I'm going to be posting that on social media this evening or tomorrow morning, because I have a lot of things I need to do tonight after I get off of here, actually. So that is my one big announcement. So I'm super excited. I've put a lot of work in that. And there's still a few more pieces that I want to work on in the next couple weeks. But like the bulk of it is done. So I'm super excited about that announcement. Number two, I have a free community. I'm pretty sure you're in it. It's the Wellness Community Facebook group on Facebook. So
Yes.
I'm going to be getting a lot more active in there, doing more live videos in there, just mostly about frequencies, but just other things that I'm learning and random thoughts and theories that I have about stuff, and sharing some stuff, and also other resources and other practitioners that do different types of things. And the wellness roundtable. I've been talking about a wellness roundtable for a couple months now. I tried doing one in person, didn't really go. Like one person came, and I know that I have some people that are interested in doing that virtually, and that's going to be more of just anybody who's interested in wellness. We're going to get together and talk about anything. If you have a question about a specific issue, there might be practitioners that can support you. The goal there is really creating community around wellness and learning from each other. Sometimes we might talk about frequency, sometimes we might talk about diet, movement, whatever. I'm going to see kind of how it starts going, and then we might have like guest spotlights for like 15 minutes. Someone can like come on and talk a little bit about their specialty or something like that. And I'm going to be doing the first one next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And that'll be like an hour. I'm going to try to keep it to an hour. And then this one, Maggie, you're of course on my team, so I love that. But I'm working on growing an AO scan team with a group of people with lots of training and resources. I have a course that I have created and moving it on different platform again. But once it's on this platform has everything that I need, so I don't see myself moving from it again. But it'll be a place where you can very quickly find resources, PDFs to print out, tutorials, guides, things like that. And then I'm this isn't 100% yet, but announcement number four is a potential weekend retreat in Utah in September. The Solax Day of Discovery is, I believe, September 13th and 14th, and I would really like to go this year. But I was hoping that more people would like to go too. So if that is something that you are interested in, um, or anyone watching this in the future replay, um, let me know. I am planning on being there Thursday afternoon through Sunday afternoon, like whenever the Airbnb checkout would be. But I don't have details completely nailed down because I need to make sure financially I can do what I would like to do, which is actually make it an entire 2 week family trip. So the weekend with other people would be like an extra bonus, and lots of learning at the Solex Day of Discovery. They keep teasing us with information about
Mm.
new launches with the software, and I'm just like, what else can they add to the software? There's already so much. um, but I'm really hoping to be able to make that a reality. So if that's something you're interested in, you can start thinking about it. I know they did just announce this week that the ticket sales go up to, right now it's $175 for the day for the ticket for Day of Discovery, and the price goes up on July 1st. So I'm hoping to figure out whether or not for sure if this is happening by the end of July, so that, or by the end of June, so we can get tickets for that at the discounted rate. And then I have looked at Airbnbs, and they are the price breakdown that I did. It should be under 200 per person to stay for the whole weekend, depending on how many people end up wanting to go and what place is actually available. But I've been kind of playing around with some of those. And then obviously travel there would be up to you to get there as well. But yeah, so that's something you can think about. And I will
Mhm.
be messaging everybody in the messenger group about, because I keep forgetting about that too. But anyway.
Okay. I'm not going to hold you up any longer because went over. But before I forget, just make a note on your thing. You've had helped me with my gut. You had
Yes.
sent me gut and also hormone. And I was wondering if you could show me through how to get it, how you did it, where you found everything. And I assume you made playlist for it. So I was just curious where you were finding those things.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look back at my notes and see if I
Yeah.
is it a report.
Pardon?
Is it a report for the gut and hormones?
A report?
What,
No,
yeah. Or you're just talking about playlists?
just a playlist. It was just a
Yeah.
playlist.
Yeah, I can type those up for you and send you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Appreciate it. All
You're
right. I'll
welcome.
let you go.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. Uh,
All right.
have a great night, everybody.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Oops. Where'd you go? Still there.